What stills should I buy? I'm Ray with Moonshine How To for Beginners. Let's talk some pros and cons of the difference in these pots and which one is for you. This is a 20-gallon copper still. This is a 10-gallon Chinese still. And over here is a 5-gallon copper still. This still will produce about 2.5 gallons of liquid. This one will be about 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons. This one will do 2 quarts and sometimes 3. It all depends on your alcohol by volume in your mash, and the quality comes out from the temperature and how fast you run. So let's pause for a second. I'm going to do one at a time. Over here, a tall fits on a normal gas burner, but by the time you put it on a table or whatever, it does not work well inside. You need to have this outside on a gas burner, or you can put a port in here for a heating element. The cap up here is tapered so it goes in and a snug fit, but still requires a paste around here to keep it from leaking. Some people put Teflon tape. I've tried rubber. I've tried hose clamps. It will leak if you're not careful. You'll lose some alcohol. The downward lint arm is a little small coming out. I would have done bigger. The downward angle is supposed to give you more flavor. To me, I'd have had this cap taper out and have 3 like going down to 2 and then reduce it down to 1 going into the thumper. This gauge, I would have gone a little higher with it so you're getting your vapor temperature, not your mash temperature. You don't want to overfill it. You want to leave headroom so you don't get puking. You want a good drain on it. This will take you approximately 12 to 16 hours to run this 20-gallon still with a 2.5, 3-gallon output. Now we're going to move to the 5-gallon. Well, this one's still up here. This has got a nice shape. It fits on a standard burner on a stove. You can put it on a turkey fire. You can put an element in it if you want. It's got a relief valve in case because of the tri-clamp, but the tri-clamp is the key. This tri-clamp system, very easy to use. That's all there is to it. It has a silicone gasket in here. You can use it hundreds of times, no cleaning. You just take it out, rinse it out, wash it down and dry it. You only fill it up about here, so you have headroom. Gauges works very good. If I wanted a higher proof alcohol, we would put like a 12-inch column in here, bring the alcohol output higher. Less flavor though. This one has about a 90-degree with a slight downhill slope. Good flavor. I like the way the vapors go up. They work their way down. This is about 3 to 4 hours on a run, and you'll get 2 to 3 quarts of 130 proof average. This is a Chinese still, all stainless, has a temperature gauge built in. You would come out of here with one of your flex lines. They go in, they have a seal under there. They do leak. For this seal here, just rolls in. These clamps are spaced a little too far apart. You will get leakage out of here. I did on the very first cleaning run just to test it out. Very dissatisfied with it. You can go get some clamps, put them in between there. That's what a lot of people are doing online and on the site. I'm going to modify this one just for you guys so that you can see some modifications you can do to make it work. That is a 10-gallon, should get about 1 gallon of quality product. Don't know what the proof is. So let's go into the next would be Thumpers. A Thumper should be 1/3 the size of your pot. So on a 10-gallon, should be around a 3-gallon Thumper. This looks like about a 1-gallon Thumper. When it came, you can use the tubes, the flex lines. You can stack them on top. I don't recommend that because you're putting any leaks near your flame. So I would put them away from it and keep it in a well-ventilated area just in case. But the higher you go here, the higher your proof will be. Run it slow, but your proof will go up because a lot of the water will condensate back down and go back into the pot, and the vapors will go up. Go into the Thumper, heat the Thumper, and then carry on to the condenser to cool down back into a liquid state. Again, this has the top seal, clamps. We'll see how it goes. There was no down tube, so what I did is I just took a piece of tubing, sanded it a little bit. That'll go on your end tube to go to the bottom of the liquid to heat it up, and then the vapors will come in and go out to your condenser. Again, come out of there and have that over there. You want a downward slope so the liquid runs downhill. If it was level, you'd get any sags here would cause spurting. You want a good even drip, you would want it all downhill. Same thing in here, everything should be sloping downhill. These hoses, you can hook them to a little fish tank pump or something to just circulate cool water through there to keep it cool. Again, Thumper should be 1/3 the size. Very close, worked very well. If you don't crank the heat up high and push it fast, if you try to do like a stripping run with the Thumper, you will puke. And it'll get cloudy, you get some water going in, your tail push through. So keep it low and slow. Thumper works great. This is an awesome first still. You can use it for research and development as you grow. You can use this for research and development to do a test run on a smaller batch. 5-gallon buckets work well. Small containers you don't put a lot of money out. This is awesome to have around, and or if you don't have a lot of time, in about 4 hours from start to finish, you can be done. Okay, 20-gallon still. A third would be 6.5 roughly gallons. This is probably a 3. Very small for this size still. Again, the design runs very, very slow. They didn't put any fruit port up in here to add flavor, purees and stuff. They used too small a line going in for this size still. I would have went with the next size bigger, maybe 3/4 going in and 3/4 coming out with a fruit port right here. Just look for that, and also with the bigger ones you need a heavier gauge than the smaller ones, or some people refer to them as ounce of copper. So you got ounces or gauge. So find out when you're ordering one which they're using and is it properly set up. If you're going to put a tri-clamp system up here, you'll pay extra, but it's well worth it. Asking for a heating element for electric heat. You want dump ports, you want unions or tri-clamp systems. These are all things you want to ask the person building it for you. Okay, we're moving to the condensers, otherwise known as the worm. It's for turning the vapor back into a liquid state so that you're getting the alcohol coming out. If you notice right now in this picture, this is going uphill. So when you need to kind of have that slope down, just a slight slope so that you don't get surging and spitting. This size you can use 5-gallon buckets, you can use whatever you want, put it in. This is how this one came. What I want to point out is make sure that they put it in and out with the type thread you need, whether it's 1/2 inch, 3/4. This is a 3/4. You can screw on a washing machine hose. It makes it easy to hook up to a pump. I use a HVAC or HVAC condenser pump. It's got a float in it and just have it cycle every 20-30 seconds. If you look at the worm, for this size still, this worm is very small. You'll spend 12 to 16 hours on this run, where it could speed it up a little bit, better cooling. If you had 3/8, 1/2 inch, up to 5/16 or something bigger in there, you would be much more happy with this still. This is the one for the 5-gallon. You can see it's got a 1/2 inch worm comes out. I can do a stripping run, or I can do quality product by going low and slow. Has beautiful cooling. I can get it down to 48 degrees coming out if I want to with this worm. As you see, I just use shark bites. Put a 3/4 inch tube going out the window, runs into a 12.5 gallon barrel. Out the bottom I have it going into the pump with a float on it, and it just circulates without using a bunch of water. That's basically it. We'll get more detail as we go. We'll start showing it in operation, but look for these things when you purchase one, and if you have questions, reach out and ask. And then what we'll do is we'll ask the supplier what you need for your purpose. So look at how much volume you need and make a decision. Not always the money. You can get a 5-gallon for $500-600. You can get a 10-gallon for about $1,000. A lot better design than this one. Shop around and see how much money you can afford to spend. Don't go so much with the $136-200 ones that you're going to modify. You may blow yourself up. So be careful out there. Quick recap. What's still to buy for you? 20, 5, or 10. Copper, very good flavor. Keep it low, keep the arm to give you quality flavor in a lower proof, better flavor. Higher proof, neutral spirits. Remember the tri-clamps? Awesome, you just can get another 12 extension with 2 clamps, clamp on each end, and you can modify. You can put gin baskets, you can put reflex on it. There's so many options with the tri-clamp system. One of the cons of this one is I gotta paste it, or I gotta seal this joint every single time. It makes a big mess, you gotta clean up, pain in the butt. Never had one of these leak. Tri-clamp, that is the pro to this unit right here. Only pro to this unit is more volume. Thermometer's too low in there. Thumper's too small. The tubes going in the thumper are too small. No fruit port. These are all things to look for. The worm on this one was way too small. I would not recommend this particular design, but it's all up to what you can do. Yes, I could go modify it, but try to ask these questions before you buy. Pro to this one, tri-clamp system, relief valve, thermometer, drain, very easy to work with, and never had a problem. Thumper, wish they had a fruit port, doesn't. Got a 3/4 going in, 1/2 coming out, works great. Unions, if I was going to do another one, I'd do a 10-gallon in this still. With the tri-clamp system, a better pressure relief valve, fruit port. That's the only thing I would really change on this. The pro on this Chinese still, I don't have any. I guess the only thing is it's stainless steel. I don't like the clamps are too far spaced. I don't like the way the thermometer's sitting in there. I don't like the flex hose. Thumper didn't come with a downspout. You get what you pay for. Out of these three, I love this design. I like the pot. It's my all-time favorite. Make sure you check out our site. We do have a Facebook group, about 40,000 members. But before you go and start asking a bunch of questions, go to our YouTube channel, watch the videos. We have how to use hydrometers, how to use refractors, how to use all your essential tools. There's some basic mash that you can use for a sacrifice run or get introduction to grains. There's sugar washes on there if you want to learn sugar washes. We're going to be doing more. Right after this video, there's going to be an all grain. I'm going to show you a pour over method and also heating the grains on a stove. We're going to do a follow-up, how they turned out. We'll show some recaps of the caps and how when they drop, we'll check the specific gravity of them, and I'll show you the final product and tell you the quality versus doing with white sugar. So be sure to stay tuned. Check out all our links that we're going to add. We're going to do a playlist at the bottom so you can go watch all without having to search for them. Shine on. Have a great day. Ray with Moonshine How To for Beginners.